Welcome, students of Europe Hotel School. I'm an AI expert in modern hospitality operations, and it's a real pleasure to guide you on this part of your learning journey. Today, we're going to roll up our sleeves and dive into the blueprint for turning a standard reservations office into a true commercial powerhouse for your hotel.
So let's start with the core idea, something that's going to change how you look at back-of-house operations. This quote right here is key. You see, it's so easy to look at a space like the reservations office and just see it as a cost center. But I want you to completely flip that script. This office isn't just an expense, it's a strategic asset that can directly, and I mean directly, fuel your hotel's financial success.
Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through this 5-part blueprint. We'll kick things off with the big picture, the office's strategic role. Then we'll get practical, looking at the physical design and the technology you absolutely need. We'll also tackle the modern hybrid model, and then we'll tie everything back to the main goal, driving that revenue.
First things first, we need to get our mindset right. I want you to stop thinking of the reservations office as just a room with phones and start seeing it as the commercial engine room of the hotel. This is where potential guests' interest gets converted into actual, tangible revenue. And that's why its setup can't be an afterthought. No way. It has to be a top priority right from the very start of any hotel project.
So who's in charge of this? Well, it's the reservations manager. And let's be really clear here. This is not a task you can just delegate. The manager is the key stakeholder. They need to be in those planning meetings with IT and the project team months before the hotel even opens. That kind of foresight is exactly what prevents those costly, inefficient fixes down the line.
Okay, so how does this strategic thinking actually translate into the physical space? Well, the layout of the reservations office is so much more than just furniture. It's a performance tool. Every single decision, from the desks and chairs to the placement of the walls, directly impacts your team's ability to sell effectively.
And what's so fascinating here is the contrast. Just look at this. On the left, you see what happens when you cut corners to save a few bucks. Sick days go up, there's distracting noise everywhere, and the manager is isolated, unable to coach their team. But on the right, that's the performance layout. Yes, it's an initial investment, but it pays off big time through higher productivity, clearer sales calls, and much stronger team leadership.
So, it all really comes down to 3 pillars. First, ergonomics. A great chair isn't a luxury, it's a tool that keeps your agents healthy and focused. Second, acoustics. Your whole business is sales calls, right? Sound dampening makes sure a guest hears about your beautiful suites, not about a coworker's weekend plans. And third, a supervisory hub. Putting the manager's desk right in the middle with a huddle space transforms them from a passive observer into an active, real-time coach.
Now, a perfectly designed room is only half the battle. We've got to talk about the technology that powers it all. For a modern reservations team, having the right tech stack is, believe me, absolutely non-negotiable.
Let's start with something that sounds simple but is a complete game changer, the dual monitor setup. This is not a nice to have, it is mandatory. Why? Because it lets your agent have the property management system, the PMS, open on one screen while looking at the hotel website or even a competitor's rates on the other. This simple setup makes upselling faster, more informed, and can dramatically increase your conversion speed.
This chart breaks down the rest of your core tech stack. A professional VoIP or voice over IP system isn't just for making calls. When it's integrated with your central reservation system or CRS, you can track key metrics like call abandonment rates. Professional noise-canceling headsets, they're essential for call clarity and for an agent's comfort over a long shift. And finally, robust access control. We're talking badge readers, locked doors. That's not about secrecy. It's about the critical job of protecting your guests' sensitive data.
And speaking of data, we have to talk about PCI DSS compliance. This is the global standard for protecting payment card information. Your entire operation, your office, your computers, your procedures, everything must be designed to meet these security standards. There is absolutely no room for error here. Protecting guest financial data is simply non-negotiable.
Of course, the modern workplace extends way beyond the 4 walls of the office. Planning for a hybrid or remote work model is now essential for attracting top talent and, frankly, for ensuring business continuity. But here's the key. It requires the exact same level of strategic planning as your physical office.
This really brings up a critical question for you as future hospitality leaders. How do you recreate that high-performance environment we've just designed when your team isn't even in the same room? How do you maintain both security and that sales culture?
The answer lies in these 3 key areas. First, security has to be your top priority. That means robust VPNs and firewalls to protect your network. Second, you need to standardize the hardware. Providing company-approved laptops and headsets minimizes tech headaches and ensures a consistent quality of work. And third, and this is so crucial, you have to invest in specialized training for your managers. They need new skills to coach, mentor, and maintain a vibrant sales culture when their team is remote.
So let's bring this all home. We've talked about strategy, physical design, technology, and the new world of remote work. I want you to think of each component as a critical gear in your hotel's revenue engine. So, here's the biggest takeaway. Proactive, detailed planning is what aligns your work environment with your team's core mission, which is to sell. When your physical setup and your technology are perfectly integrated, you eliminate friction and directly empower your team to hit the hotel's most important revenue goals.
I want to leave you with this powerful final thought, something I've seen in top executive training programs. Your team's environment should never be an obstacle they have to overcome. It must be a tool intentionally designed to make them more productive, more efficient, and ultimately more successful.
And so I'll end with a question for you to carry forward into your careers. Based on this blueprint, how will you, as a future leader in this industry, design your team's environment not just for function, but for exceptional commercial success?